All right, good day, listeners. Once again, I'm very happy to be here with you. We are going to do one interesting video, and this tutorial is going to be focusing on areas of voice recognition to text. Okay, so what we are going to do is this. We are going to do a demo before we start coding. This is how the application works. So what I want us to look at now is this. If I come here, I say, okay, good morning, hello, good morning, hello, good morning. You see, the application will respond, hi, good morning, my dear, how are you? So I want to ask another question. How old are you? It will respond and say, I am 34 years old, and yours? So there are so many things we can do with this application. By the time we delve quickly into the detail on the functionality and the technology we are going to use, you will see so many approaches and techniques we will be applying in order to make this a successful outcome, just like you can see the demo. So very quickly, I want to urge you again to subscribe to my channel. Feel free to like the video, share, comment, and don't forget to suggest for us if there is any area you want us to look at, so we can make a video on that. Thank you. I remain your friend Joshua. Now let's move straight to the video and the teaching of today. Now what we are going to do is this. I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to open my Visual Studio. We have created a folder, a project called Voice Recognition to Text. Okay, and inside this folder we created a file called index.html. Now we are going to do small HTML here. What I will do here is this. I will come on the title. I will call it a VRO, which is voice recognition. Okay, now voice to text, anyone. So it depends on the title you want to give it. Now in the body tag of the HTML, I'm going to create a div. I'm creating a div here. So inside this div, we have let's give it, let me just come here. Inside this div, I will give it a class of let's say main div. Okay, let's just give it a class of what? Main div. Okay, then we are going to come here. Okay, then here we will come here and ask, okay, let's have what? An H4 tag. We'll title it voice to text recognition. Voice to text recognition. Okay, I hope I'm right for the spelling. Now we are going to come here. We will now come here and create another div. This div, we have a class of what? A class of what we call test. Okay, test. I'll put X. Okay, whatever. Then I'll come here and I'll say, okay, let's have what? A P tag. Okay, and in this P tag, I can decide to say, okay, give it a title. Okay, let's say give it a title, and this title we can call it a voice. Okay, anyway, it depends what you want to do. Now since we've been able to do that, inside this P tag, we're going to say, okay, make a comment, say start talking. Okay, now if we run this in our browser, okay, using a real time, you see it's a voice to text. Okay, start talking. So this is what we want to do. Now we've been able to launch our first application. Now that we've successfully done that, what I want us to do is this. I'm going to come here. Remember, we have a div which I give a class name called main. We have another div which I give a class called what? Text. So we are going to work with this. Okay, now for we to style this and make it look better, let's create another file, a CSS file. I will call this file, let's call it a style. Okay, let's say style.css. Okay, I'm going to save this file. I'll call it a style.css. Okay, now that we're already in our style file, we are going to do some definition to make this a better one. We'll come here. I'll say, let's set a margin so that everything will align to 0 margin. Then we'll say padding. Let's give it a padding of 0.2. And also, okay, box sizing. Okay, box sizing. We'll give it also what? Box border or border box. Okay. Now, after that, we will now come here. All our HTML, we can decide to set a font size if we want to. Okay, you can say all the HTML should have a particular font size. But what I'm going to do before that, I will now come where I say main, which is our div name. Okay, I'll give it a width of 100%. Then I will give it a display. Let's say display, make it be flex. Display should be what? Flex. Okay, we'll say align items. Align items, let it be centered. All the items should be centered. And again, let's say justify content. Justify content should be centered too. Okay, we are doing small CSS here. And again, we'll not set a background. Let's say background color. Background color should be, let's say, ash 00. Let's use a color code 6666. Okay, now when we refresh this application, let's see how it will look. Good, no error. Now let's continue. Now that we have this, what I want us to do again is this. I will come back here and say flex direction. Flex direction. Let's say it should give us what? Column. Okay, now padding. Padding should be 50 pixels top and bottom. Okay, and 0 pixels left and right. Okay, let's say this. Okay, now we have this as our what? Main. Now here I will come here, if possible I will define, I say body. Let's give it a background. Let's say font. Okay, let's say font family. Let's say font family should be, let's give it a Montserrat or Montserrat. Okay, Montserrat. M-O-N-R-R-A-T. I think I'm right. Yes, this M should be capital letter. Sorry, it should be Montserrat. Okay, Montserrat as our font family. And again, you know, say font size. Font size should be, let's give it a 22 pixels. And the background color should have this color code that we have here. I can decide to remove this one here, then put the background color here. Okay, put it here. Okay, now when we run this our code, let's see how it will look like. Good. Now, sorry, this is our code. Good. Now let's continue. Why is this not showing as expected? Let's go and look at it. It's reason because we have not linked our what? CSS. Okay, we have not linked what? Our CSS. So let's link our CSS. We'll come here from the body, after the title, and I'll say link. Okay, relation. That's a style sheet. Okay, we'll come here, href, and I'll say style.css. That is our file. Okay, now that we've done that, we can now close this tag and refresh our page and see how it looks. Good. You see, we are getting there. Okay, this is our page. Now I want to do something here in our div, which is our main tag here for our CSS. Look at it. From our div here, if you look at our HTML, inside this div we have another what? Class called text. And inside this div, we have h tag, which is called what? H4. Okay, so we are going to style it. I'm going to come here and say dot main, copy our main, that's h4. Now after that, we'll come here and ask, okay, color. Let's give it a color of RGBA. Okay, RGB of let's say 255, 255, 255, 0.322. Okay, let's leave it this way. If I refresh this page and run, good, not bad. Now we'll continue. What we're going to do again now, we will come here and say test align. Test align should be center. Okay, then width of this test, let's give it 100%. Okay, and again font size should be 50 pixels. Then then we need to talk about margin. Let's say margin bottom. Okay, there should be a margin bottom. Margin bottom should be 10 pixels all around. Okay, so that when we come and refresh this page, good, not bad. Now let's continue. What else do we need to do here? We'll come here and work on the p tag, because this p tag, if you look at it here, inside this p tag we now have start talking. Okay, so we're going to start this p tag with the main container dot main space p tag. Okay, now that we've done that, we are going to come and say test align. Also it should be what? Center. And also color, we'll give it the same color like we did here, so we don't need to stress. Copy this one, put it here. Okay, then what else do we need? We need this width. We'll give it width also 100%. Okay, then we need the margin bottom too. Margin bottom, margin bottom should be 42 pixels. 42 pixels. Okay, now when we refresh this page, let's see how it looks like. Good, it has changed the color to this and it gives a margin bottom of that. Now let's continue. In our code, there's something we want us to do again. Okay, if you look at our HTML here, okay, we have a div called what? What is it called? Container. Okay, now if I come here, let me not forget, if I say okay, this div, apart from this div that we have here, I can come here and create another div here. Let me say create another div, give it a class, call it a container. Okay, I will close this div and this div will now become the parent to this div. Okay, fine. We have the main div, we have the container div, and we have the test div. So we are going to work on what? That of what? Container now. So if you come to our CSS, we will now say, okay, this container that we have here, I'm going to copy this class name. Okay, come here, call our class name, then let's style it. Okay, let's style it and say width of give it a width of 90% or 92%. Will be okay. We'll give it a mass width. Let's give it a mass width of 450 pixels, and let's give it a padding of let's say, if we give it padding, the whole text will not be aligned. Let's say margin. Let's give it margin. Let's give it margin. Let's give it margin 0 pixels all around auto. Okay, then we will now come here and I say justify content. This is center. This will center all the content. Okay, this is what we are looking at. So let's refresh this page and see. Good, no error. We are working there. Now let's continue. We have been able to style that our container, which is this container div. Now next thing I want us to do is text. Let's work on this text. I will come here, pick our text class, Okay, then we're now going to work on this test. And remember, inside this class called test, there is what? A P tag. You can see it here, which is handling this start talking. So we're going to come here and space it and say what? Space P. Okay, so that whatsoever attribute we give to that test will also what? Affect that of the P tag. We'll say color. Color should be black. Let's give it black. Or let's say color hash 000. Okay, then we'll come here and say text align should also be what? Centered. If we put it text align or align, let's say align text. Let's use align text. Align text. Text align. If we use this, okay, let's continue. Let's just give it background color first. Let's say background color. Background color will give us, let's say white. This will give us white. Yes. Then we need a padding. Padding of 11 pixels. 11 pixels. And then we need a margin bottom. Margin bottom. Margin bottom of, let's say 8 pixels. Okay. Then after that, what else do we need to add to this CSS attribute? Let's give it a width. Width of 100%. Okay. Yeah. Now that we have this, let's refresh the page and see. Good. You see, this is how our test is looking. Okay. This is how it looks. Now, what else do we need to do here? Let's continue. We'll come here and we will continue by saying, let's come here and say, okay, text align. Sorry. After hours, this one will put something semicolon. Text align. Text align will that's okay. Left. The test should always start from left. Okay. Now I think we are done with this for so far. Let's talk about the next thing that we need to do. Now inside our HTML, we have class text and we have P tag. Okay. Are you getting me? So now what we need to do, we will come here, save this file, refresh. Good. You see the test has what? Start from what? Left now. Okay. Before I remember it was a center. If I come here and say test align right, how will it look like? You see, it's go to what? Right. Are you getting it? The test will move to right. So you remember each time you are working with your chatting or your social media, most time you see that your test normally start from what? From left. So we want it to start from what? Left. So that by the time we begin to talk to the application, the test will come here, then reply should come at the what? The right hand side. Okay? Are you getting it? You are the one making comment, and the reply should also be coming what? From this angle. Now what we need to do now in our continuation, we will come here, we are going to do something and say dot test, okay, P, then each time the machine reply a comment, we say good morning. The good morning should display here, and that is what we want to call a class name which is not existing now. We want to create a class name. I'll call it a response. Okay, response. Okay, let's call it response like this. Okay, that is the class name. We are going to use this class name in our JavaScript. Okay, so what I want us to do now, let's say our response should be text align. You already know what text align does. Well, that's okay. You should start from what? Right, so that the machine response will come from what? Right hand side. While our own should be what? From left hand side. So we don't expect anything to happen yet. Then let's go straight. We are through with our CSS. We are through with our HTML. Now what else do we need to do here? We are going to move straight to our JavaScript. We are going to create a new file. Yeah. Come to new, create a file. We will come and create a JavaScript file. I will call it script.js. Okay. Any name you feel like choosing. Depends on you. Now we are going to call this, create this file and call it a script.js. Now I will come here, save this file. Okay, I will now say script.js. Okay, so when we come here, we will save. Good. Now, our JavaScript is going to go this way. Okay? What do we need to do here? I will come here, remove this comment. I will define a variable, a constant variable. Okay? I will call it a text. Okay? I'll call it a text. I'll say, okay, let this text be document. Okay? Let it be document dot query selector. Okay? Document.query selector. Okay, we are going to use document.query selector to select all the attributes. Okay, document.query selector. Okay, now the document.query selector, what it really do, or what it does is this: the document.query selector method return the first element that matches a CSS selector. Okay. To return all the matches, not only the first, use what is called document.query select all. We have query select all, we also have query select what? All, like this. But we are not selecting all, we are not saying query select what? Select all, just like this. Just select only one class, and that is the class we have what defined here. And what is that class? In our HTML, we have a class called what? Text. Okay? TEXTS. We are going to copy this class, come to our JavaScript here, and come here, put double quotation or single quotation as you wish, then paste the class name here. Okay, now that we've done that, put command, there's semicolon, that's okay. Let's define window. Okay, let's say window dot speech. Okay, speech recognition. Okay, we're going to use what they call speech recognition. Speech recognition. All right, we are not going to use recognition attributes. We just use speech what? Recognition, just like this. We are going to use speech recognition equals to window, okay, dot speech recognition 2. Also, we remove the result. All right, okay. Now we are going to use this one. Now again, let's continue and say define another constant variable. We'll call it a recognize, okay, or recognition, anyone. Recognize equals to, okay, we define a new window. Okay, this new window is going to what? Pick the speech. Okay, that's a speech recognition. Okay, we are using this new window. Pass it to what? More or less like it's a function. That's a semicolon. Now that's okay. Recognition now that we have defined, which is this recognize. This recognize we have defined here. Okay. We will now say this recognition. We will use it to say okay, dot initial. Sorry. Dot interim result. Interim result. Okay. We are going to use that function called interim result to interim, okay, results in JS. Okay. Now let's talk about what interim result in JS does. Interim result in JS property of that speech recognition, it also is interface control whether interim result should be returned true or not, which is false. Interim results are results that are not yet final. Okay, so we are going to use what? Interim results. They are results that are not what? Yet final. So because these results are not yet final, now let's continue by coming here. That's okay. Remember, he said it's either what? True or what? False. Okay, we are not saying interim result equals to what? True. We set it to true. Okay. Now we move down and come here and say use a let keywords. Let our p, which our p tag, remember, equals to document, okay, dot create element. We are creating element, and that element that we are creating each time a speech is displayed is p tag. Okay, it should create element p tag. After that, we now say okay, our recognize variable that we have defined, variable name, okay, dot add event listener. Okay, add event listener. Yes, event listener. Okay, I will pass this event listener to a variable which I call what? Output. Okay, or yes, call it output. Okay, and now we'll now come here. That's okay. Okay, we'll now use E, which is what? You use E, more like our event listener function. And now we are passing this function, okay? Because it's a function, we are coming here, and that's okay. This function to take primitive of this, okay? Remember, okay, this is how the function look like, sorry. Now we are going to do it this way. We want to say our constant variable, which we call text, that we have defined, is equals to display this data in an array format, okay? We are saying, okay, all this data are looping in terms of array. We now say from where? From our E dot outputs. Okay? Okay? Instead of using output, why don't we use result? Yes, we can use result. Yeah, result is not bad. Let's use result because we want a result. Okay? So that the whole name should be uniform. Dot results. Okay? Now we are using this one. After that, we now move to the next. We now say, okay, dot map. Okay, I want you to read about map function in JavaScript, what it does. Okay, so we are using map, pass it to our result, which we have defined initially, which is this one, this first result here. Okay, we are now mapping it to our result, and as we are mapping, we say, okay, map it in this manner that this result also will start from the index of 0. Okay. Okay, after that, that's okay, dot, we also want to map again, okay, map, dot, map, and what we are mapping again this time around, we are mapping that same result, okay, results, okay, results, we are mapping results also to results as well. And let it start for index of what? 0. Okay? Now that we've successfully done that, then we need all this data to join them together. Let's join this 0 data. So we join them with what? This manner. Sorry. We join them this way. Okay? Perhaps we can say, okay, if we don't want to pass it to 0 index, because from the first mapping, it's already starting for what? 0 index. Why don't we say result, okay, dot transcript. Okay, so I want to tell you what transcript does. Okay, this transcript, okay, in JS, okay, so what does this transcript in JS? What it does is this. In JS, when we talk about transcript, it's a proof. If it's okay, want to remember in some education sector, when you graduated, they say what is transcript by hand. In JavaScript, what transcript does, okay, we are going to look at it in this way. If we are using a transcript property, okay, mostly in voice recognition, the transcript reads only property of the speech recognition result interface. Return a string containing the transcript of the recognized words. That is what the transcript does. Okay? Read only the property of the speech recognition result. Remember, we have defined a speech what? Recognition. Okay, and this is our result that we have. Okay, the interface return a string containing the transcript of the recognized words. Okay, now that we have already understood what transcript does, I want you to go and read on that in your further study. Now we are going to say transcript. Okay, we are using what? Transcript. Okay, method. Now after that, we will come here and say, okay, now that we have done that, remember, we are still inside this what? Function called what? Recognition. Or recognize, sorry. Now, we will come here and say, okay, p dot inner text. They use the inner text. Okay? Is equals to text. Alright? Then after that, we now say, okay, this text that we have defined, we are going to define this text. Remember, we have a text here, okay, which is our first variable here. this first variable that we define. We'll now come here and say copy this text, put it here. This text here now, we are going to use it to say, okay, at every point that this element create P tag, at every point that this text is created, or this element is created, append this child called what? P. We are appending the P tag now. Append it to it. Okay? Now that we have done that, let's save this file. Okay? We'll now use, we are going to look through now. Sorry, we're going to use a conditional statement. Where? We're going to use a conditional statement so that this conditional statement, we will use it to check through all the statement that we have here to see what it will return for us. Now that we have that, remember in our first definition where we define these two variables, we first define our constant variable, and we also define text document dot what query selector text. We define our speech window dot speech recognition. We say it's equals to window dot what speech recognition. We decide a constant variable, pass it to a new window. We should pick the speech recognition. We also want to define a variable called recognize, which is we say dot interim. We set it to true, and we now define a let keywords. Say P document dot create element at every point of display. Create a P tag. Now we have set up our recognize add event listener so that it will listen to whatever we are talking about or saying. We pass it to an A variable, and we also say constant text or is equals to array.form every event, pass it to result, map it to this result, and start from index of 0. We also map this result, pass it to what transcript so that it will be able to what create this what we talk about transcript, so that the interface and return the transcript containing that words. Okay, now we'll now join it here. After that, we'll now say okay, P dot what inner text. Okay, P dot inner text equals to text. We'll now say this text dot what append the what P what variable. Now what next we need to do? We'll now say if this our E that we have defined dot results. Okay, start from the index of 0 like we have here. Okay, we will now come here and come down here. Now say if our text, which is the text that we have here, dot includes something like hello, HELLO. Okay, if we include hello, it should do something for us. Okay, we now say P is equals to document dot create another element. Remember, create another element called what? P, because everything is displaying under P tag. Okay, I will now say this P dot what? Class list. Sorry, class list. What in our CSS we define a class list, we call it what? Response. We are going to copy this response. Remember, I said this class was not existing before, we created it. Then we'll now come to our transcript. We'll now say our class list, we'll now say dot add this class name called what? Response. Like this. Okay? After that, we space and say okay, P dot inner text, okay, is equals to, you should respond something like hi, because when you say hello, you should expect to respond that to say what? Hi. Okay? I can decide to put semicolon here, and also decide to put semicolon here if I want to. Or this one, you can decide to say okay, put semicolon here as well. Now that we have done that, we'll come here and say okay, this text, the text with X that we already have there, and now say dot append the child of that what called P. Okay, you can now come here and close. Okay, if we run this code as it is, okay, what happens next? If we come here now and go through this code, you find out that we are set for our function. Okay, we are set. But one thing I want us to do is this. Okay, one thing I want us to do is this. We will come here and call our function. Okay, we will call our function. Okay, we call our function here. This function which is taking this primitive call result here. Okay, we are going to call this function. Remember, this one's supposed to be like this. Okay, we are supposed to close this one like that. Then when we come here now, we are going to call this function. We are going to come and say recognize. Okay, this recognize you are saying here, we are going to call it. Okay, when we call this recognize, so that we can trigger this recognition as a recognize dot add event listener. Okay, and then we'll come here and now say end it. Okay, we are using the what end function. And that's okay. Pass this function. Okay, that's okay. Let it be in this arrow in this manner. Then we'll come here and do something like this. Then we'll now come here, pass the recognition, and say dot what start. We are starting the recognition now at this point. Okay, we are now starting it here. Then after that, we'll now come again. That's okay. This recognition here dot what start. Now let's try and see if our application is working perfectly well. Let's come here, refresh. Come here, refresh. Sorry. Now let's come to our code. Come to our CSS. Okay, we have not linked our JavaScript. Sorry. We'll come to our HTML. We'll now say script. Okay. We'll now say src socks. Now say script dot js. Okay. We have successfully linked our JavaScript here now. Are you getting it? We have linked our JavaScript. So what we need to do here now, let's come and save this work and come here, launch another Chrome if possible. Okay. If we open it here, this is what it's showing us. Hello. Okay, if it's not working, let's try something different. Let's come here and look at why it's not working. Now, if you look at our JavaScript, what is missing? I want us to look at it critically and see what we need to do so that we can be able to get this thing correctly. If you look at this code here, you will find out that at this point here, we are opening this tag and we as well also close it here. Okay? Then we have an E here, which I pass here to result. This result also is equals to all this result that we have here. Now, why is this not showing the output that we are expecting or expected? You now see p.document.create element at p tag. Now, let's come here. We can decide to say okay, or window, okay, dot WebKit. Let's use WebKit. Okay, let's use WebKit speech recognition. Okay, use speech kit recognition. Now, so that because it's speaking from that web speech recognition. Now when we refresh here, you say allow. We allow. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you. You see the way it's displaying. Why is this displaying in this manner? What I want us to do is this. You see what I'm talking now is displaying. Everything is talking, everything I'm talking is speaking it. Hello, thank you for coming here. This is a nice one. So I want to stop the looping here first. I want to stop it because there are some certain things we need to do here. It's not showing the way I expected. Let's come back. When we come back here, you see the way the looping is showing and it's displaying at random. Okay? It's displaying at random, and that is not what we want. You see the way I'm talking now is speaking it. We don't want it this way. We don't want it this way. We want it in such a way that at every point in time, it should be able to break whenever I stop talking and start another paragraph. Okay? Because the way it is now, everything is just be talking. You see, it keep talking as if I'm not stopping. Imagine. So we don't want it that way. You see, it go back now and clear all the one that I've recorded. So we don't want it that way. So to solve this problem, we want to do something here. Let's come back to our code. Remember, at the end here we say end, and we say we are starting our web real-time speech recognition. Now we are going to come here from our array. This is array. okay, from this array. And if you look at it down here where we start the speech here, at the point of this speech, we can say, okay, at this point we can say, okay, dot final, because when we're talking about that speech recognition, we saw when we were talking about interim, when we were talking about what is it called, transcript and all that, they work with this what's called final. So what we're going to do here, we are going to set up what a final, use a final keywords. That final keywords, we are going to use it here by saying is final, because when we stop talking, let the machine recognize that that is what we have taken a deep breath, then start another paragraph. Okay, because one cannot be talking like a parrot. No, it's not fair. So when we talk, you have a break, take a deep breath, you continue for conversation. Hello listener, thank you for coming, I'm happy to see you here today. Okay, when you start again, you break the comment and start again. So we are going to say is, okay, final. Let's use this word, keywords is what? Is final. Now when we come here, I refresh this code. I say good morning, how are you, thanks for coming. Okay, now he's speaking this speech. Okay, the way he's speaking this speech is not what I'm expecting so far, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something very interesting here. Look at what I want to do here. If you come to our code, if you look at this code here, this speech recognition started from there, okay, and it end what? It end here. Start here. This speech recognition starts here and end what? Here. So what we're going to do here, I will come here and also, okay, it's okay, come here and do something interesting. Okay, what we're going to do is going to be an interesting one. But before we do that, why don't I come here? Why don't I come here and say, okay, since we are making that in that format, why don't I say, okay, let's say let me zoom this code so that you can see it. Sorry, I don't know if you are seeing it. Let's zoom it so that you can see all the code that we are displaying. I want to zoom it so that you can see our code. Now from our script, if you look at it here, we say hello, it responds hi. If I save this code, refresh, hello, it responds hi. You see it? Come here, hello, see it responds hi. Okay, now but the display is not what we define in our CSS. What is our CSS? We say dot respond, okay, it should float it to what? To right. Remember, from here, our p tag, we say text align is show to left. So this one's supposed to come what? From left. Okay? Now, if we are appending this p tag here, this text, like we have here, this text here, and we are appending it to this child called p, and we say, okay, float it to what? Right. Okay? Now, why we are not seeing this in that format, we are going to work on it right now. Let's come to our CSS. P dot what? Respond. Okay? This space is not supposed to be here. Let's just do it like this. Okay? Let's say respond. Refresh our code. Hello. Hi. You see? Okay? So we are not supposed to give a space here at this point. There shouldn't be a space here. Okay? That is not how what we wanted. So what will come here now? Hello. How are you? That is not what we want. You see, it's speaking from here. That is not what we want. We want it to be in such a way that we merely answer this hello and display I. There shouldn't be any comment coming up from this place again. Any other comment should come from what? The next line. So to solve this problem, what we need to do is this. Okay? How we come to our code, let's come to our JavaScript and look at our text here. Remember, we are tracing, doing a backward debugging. Now we'll come here and say, okay, let's see how we can fix this problem. If you look at where we say speech recognition, okay, recognition equals to window dot recognition, speech recognition, or window.webkit speech recognition is perfectly okay. Okay, what we test here, define here is okay. But look at here, let's look at this place. Is there something we are not getting clear? We define a constant, call it text. And this text, we set it to array dot from e to results. Okay, which is our result. And we're able to append all this one, set the index to 0, set the transcript, and we join the text here. Okay, if it is fine here, now the last line, we say p.inner.text equals to text, and this text we append the p tag to it, and at every point we are asked, okay, if this e dot result start from the index of 0 and is final, okay, the text, okay, now say if text includes, okay, we are starting another hello, okay, it should say, okay, p equals to document.create element of p, and this p class list, we should add this response. Okay, we should add this response, and our response, remember, is high, and it should respond what? p.inner text, which is what? I. I will answer, okay, this text dot what? Append a child called what? P. Okay, which other thing can we do here? If we've done that, can we still create another thing? Let's say we want to come here and say, okay, now that we've successfully done that, let's do something different. Okay, let's say we'll come here. After this whole if, I'll set another if. I say if text, okay, dot includes, okay, if the text includes something like, well, what is your name, okay, or the text, this is all double this thing, text dot includes another word is called, I can use double quotation, I can use small quotation, anyone is not bad. Another word called what, okay, I'll come and say what your name, something like this. Okay, can I close this to, okay, I use the loop here, curly brace. Then we'll now come and say p dot p equals to document, just like what we did before, dot create, we are creating what? Another element like we did before, and that element is called what? P. Okay, and that will now move again as, okay, p dot what? Class list, and this class list we are adding a class which we have what? Created, and that class that we created is what? What is the name of that class? It's called what? Response. If you come to our CSS, you see it here. Our class name is called response. Okay, are you getting it? So we are going to use that what? Response, and put it here so that we can be able to what? Get our response each time we want to make a comment. Now that we have successfully done that, if our response has been added as our class list here, then we can now come here and ask, okay, p.inner text like we did before, and the inner text should be what? My name is Joshua. Okay, the machine should respond, my name is Joshua, Joshua, sorry. Okay, that should be the response from the machine. And also, when that's okay, this text that we are defined initially, we are now appending what? A child called what? P, which is the P tag. Okay, now we are going to save this code and come here and refresh our code. What is your name? You see, it responds what? My name is what? Joshua. Okay, you say my name is what? Joshua. Now, what I want us to solve is this. I don't want it to be displaying in this manner. I don't want it that way. So what I want us to do is this. Let's come back to our code. If you look at this whole code here, you find out that after it responds, my name is Joshua, every other statement continue to display from inside what? My name is Joshua P tag, which I don't want that way. I don't want it that way. It's not fair. It's not supposed to be so. So what we need to do here, remember, when at the end here, we define an end statement to say pass it to this function. Okay? And this is how it is. We now say this recognize dot start. Okay? And also have what? We are picking this recognize here, and it's also what? Start here. So now we have been able to call our function. okay, which ended there, and also what started here. Now, if all this one now is inside this our loop conditional statement, which started from here, is final. Now, what else can we do to break that error? Okay, alternatively, I can come here. Remember, we set this one to true, okay, and we use what? A constant. Where is here? Constant text variable name called test, and we set it to array. We now say from this event result. Now that we have something like this, why don't we come here? Because I want to know why this man is not picking the way it should. Because if you look at our CSS, okay, this text is picking here, okay, and as it's speaking, the space here is not what I expected. Okay, I don't expect it to be in this manner like you are saying. What is your name? You see, it has responded Joshua. And after it responded Joshua, everything I'm talking now is still displaying inside this Joshua. I don't want it this way. What can we do? Let's come here. Come to our JavaScript. Let's look at our code critically and see why it's displaying in that format, so that we can be able to what? Solve this problem once and for all. Add event listener. I hope I might spell it with event listener. Listener is correct. Yes, it's correct. And which other one here? Where's another add event listener? Okay, it's also what's correct. And again, our variable that we define here, which is recognized, okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. So if I say okay, this variable as it is, I use the word recognition. Use the word recognition. If I use the word recognition, and I'm going to make sure this recognition work well, what I want us to do here is such a way that at every point in time that this recognition pick a voice, let it pick it from the p tag, so that from the p tag it can append every charge that what we are responding from the machine. Alternatively, why don't we say okay, if I say p tag here, if I come here and say p tag, like as it's displaying, I say hello, it give me hello, and say hi. I don't want this text to be displaying at random. Let it break the loop, come back to another p tag, and respond to me what I'm talking. So everything, you see the way it's displaying now, everything I'm talking is showing inside one p tag. Okay, I want this p tag to display in terms of different line, because you can't be talking at random. Each time you take a deep breath, let it break the loop or break the conditional statement and say I. Okay, and if you look at I now, at the point you say I, it's not picking okay. Every other statement I'm making is displaying here. We don't want it that way. Okay, yeah, we don't want it that way. We want it in such a way that immediately it display this comment, let it break the loop and come back to the next line. And that next line will help us to what? Make sure that everything that we are doing here will match with what we are expecting. Now let's see how we can correct it. Now let's come back to our code here. Now if we come back to our code here, if you look at our code here, it's exactly what I expected to do. I think it's fine. Now, but to solve this problem, why don't we come here and define another condition? If I want this text, let me come and say, okay, if this text, let's give it a condition. Let's say if this text, if text test dot includes, if it includes a statement where we will say open my blog for me. Okay, at the point of open my blog for me, I want it to open my blog and display my website for me. Okay, so if I say open my blog for me, I come here. Okay, I'll say okay, p equals to, instead of doing all these plenty responses, I can just come here and say okay, copy this one, but I don't want to copy and paste. I say document, okay, document, okay, dot create document.create element. We are creating another element. I hope you know what we are doing already. We are creating a p tag, and this p tag at every point in time we are now saying p.classList. We want to add our class list, which we have defined. We'll say use add function, and that class list is called what? Response. And this is our what? Response. Okay, that will put our response here. Then after that, we will now come here. Now that you have responded, we put our what, and what is it going to respond? That's a p dot inner text will be equals to, let's say, opening your blog for you. Okay, it's opening your blog for you. Now that should be the response. And what will be that blog? We'll now come here and ask, okay, text with x, which is our first variable that we define, which is the query selector, append a child, and what we are appending here is what? P tag. After which we can now come here and say, okay, window, because we want to pull another, open a window, now say open, use the open keywords and say, okay, equals to, I want to put my URL and my blog URL, and I say https://gijotech.com. Okay, this is my website. Okay, I'm going to save this. Let's say open my blog for me and see how it works. I'm going to refresh this. Open my blog for me. Allow. Okay, I'm going to refresh again. Open my blog for me. Fine. You see, immediately I say open my blog for me, it opened my website and displayed for me. Okay, you see how powerful this is. Okay, each time I say open my blog for me, now you see the way it's opening my blog, and I don't want it's opened it exactly the way I wanted it. Okay, so that is it's working perfectly well. Now we've been able to achieve what we are actually looking at, in such a way that you can tell the machine, do this for me based on how you have set your data. Okay, in machine learning we say we have use this one to call label. Okay, supervised machine learning. We are labeling it in such a way that whatever keywords we give it here, that should be the train data, and what should be our response. Okay, that should be the response of what the machine give to us. So in machine learning angle, we can call this a supervised machine learning, but we are using a JavaScript, a pure JavaScript with a WebKit or voice recognition, and we've been able to solve this problem, and I'll be able to make sure that each time I come here and say, okay, ask any question, the application will display what you ask. If I come here now and refresh the page, what is your name? You see, it responds, my name is Joshua. Okay, that is what it responds, my name is Joshua. So this is a very simple JavaScript application. I want you to feel free to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to comment on the comment section, and I will be here to answer whatever question that you are dropping on the comment section. I remain your friend Joshua. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel for the latest update that will be coming forth in our subsequent video. Thank you for your time, and if there's any question you need to ask, please drop it on the comment section like I said earlier on. Thank you for your time. I remain your friend Joshua. Goodbye.